welcome back to another episode of the Diabetes Survival Guide Show. I am joined by a very awesome and amazing guest. Not only has Jeff been an absolute honor of working with, that he's taken the tips I've shared with him and went full throttle with it and disproved the myth that type 2 diabetes is not reversible at all. And he's inspiring other people to improve their health and get the support that they need. Without further ado, I just want to say, Jeff, please tell us about yourself, tell us about your diagnosis story, and all the things that I wasn't able to cover with this introduction.
All right, everybody, Viking Zero Reviews, Jeffrey Hill. So I found out I was type 2 diabetic in October of 2019 when I got into an apprenticeship and I went to go get a DOT physical so I can get my commercial driver's license. And when they did the urinalysis, they said my proteins were through the roof. So they did a finger prick test. And the lady told me, oh, hey, I don't want to freak you out or anything, but I highly recommend you go to urgent care after this. Your blood sugar is 399. And I said, what does that mean? And she said, ketoacidosis, you could go blind, you could get brain damage. There's a lot of things that can happen from ketoacidosis. I knew diabetes was in my family. My dad was diabetic. He ended up having a gastric bypass Roux-en-Y surgery. And one of the side effects of that is it gets rid of your diabetes. You can relapse, but if you keep the weight off and eat better, it will stay away. My dad's dad did not take care of himself, didn't treat his diabetes. He ended up having to get a quadruple bypass. His leg, where they took the veins from, it didn't heal properly, so he had to have an above-the-knee amputation. And he's in the hospital the whole time, and he died in the hospital from that. So, but again, like I said, I didn't know I was diabetic because I felt normal, because that's how I had been the whole time. Drinking regular Monsters, a couple of them a day. Regular sodas. When I eat out fast food, I'd eat a bowl of ice cream a day, lots of carbs, no real whole food. Like I didn't make my own food. I just ate out all the time. Yeah, October 2019, I got into the apprenticeship and I waited about 3 months for my health insurance to kick in. And then I started going to the doctors and telling them, I went to a place that said they specialize in diabetes. And they tried me out on a couple of medicines. Some of them didn't work for the really difficult job that I had. They made me really sweaty. They made me dizzy and nauseous. So I was trying a couple different medicines. I ended up getting, I know it was metformin first. I don't remember the second one. And then the third one, which ended up being good, was Jardiance. It wasn't super aggressive for me. It didn't change anything by itself. It did make me go pee a lot, which was supposed to help flush the sugar out of your body. And then I had a very physical job that ended up helping keep my blood sugar low, like in a healthier range. And then 3 years in the apprenticeship, I left the apprenticeship to come back home. And I didn't work for a year. It was really hard. I came back Christmas time. So December of 21, I came back. So there's still COVID. It's the end of the year, so it's hard to get a new job. And I tried to get back into the trade I was in, but that was really hard to do. So I ended up doing weird random jobs here and there and wasn't happy. And that affected everything. That affected my relationship, my health. I didn't take care of myself and I gained a bunch of weight. And I ended up getting this safety job where I'm in now, where it's in the trade, but it's doing safety. And again, I had to wait 90 days for my health insurance to kick in. So I went without insurance the whole time. And I went to Kaiser and told them that I think my testosterone is low and I don't feel good. I know I have diabetes. And they were willing to give me medicine for the diabetes, but they didn't offer any coaching. So when I found Patrick on Instagram, I think I found you because we both followed Merrick online. And so when you have similar people follow things, Instagram recommends them, which is pretty cool. And I had seen a couple of Patrick's posts, and they were just little simple tips that I thought was, at the time, I thought was silly, to be honest, because I didn't know anything about it. And this is a lot of people's reaction too. I know Patrick can vouch for me. People think things like I'm sitting here in my car and I'm driving a long ways, doing trunk twists or putting on cruise control and moving your feet like this until your lower legs get tired, take a break and do it again. I thought some of those things, honestly, I didn't give Patrick credit, but some of the stuff he said, I had seen other people say too, people that I was more familiar with. So I was like, okay, so Patrick probably knows what the heck he's talking about. So I don't remember, did I just reach out to you or something and tell you,
Yeah. Hit
you
me up through
explained Dom?
DM.
Yeah, you explained Dawn phenomenon to me. I think that was the first thing I asked you about.
Hmm.
I was like, how come even when I fast, I wake up and my blood sugar is high? He explained to me what it was in a very simple, easy to understand way. He told me a couple of tricks to help lower your blood sugar first thing in the morning. So I think this is something that even happens to people who aren't diabetic. It's just a natural thing to wake you up.
Hmm. Yeah. It's because the body releases stress hormones like cortisol, epinephrine, and those causes our blood sugars to rise up because it's telling our liver, hey, I need you to dump the glucose out so that I could give it to the brain so the brain can wake up and actually move the body. And then for
Yeah.
people with type 2 diabetes and prediabetes, since we have insulin resistance, meaning our
Yes.
insulin doesn't respond well to move those blood sugars into our brain and our muscles, that's why
Yeah.
the blood sugars are higher for people with type 2 diabetes and prediabetes in the morning.
Okay. Yeah. You used to tell me indirect sunlight for 30 minutes at least when I first wake up, 15-minute walk, not a zone two walk, just a 15-minute walk. So I would do that in the morning. I'd go out with my baseball cap on, but not sunglasses, so I could get as much light as I could handle in my eyes and my face. And I go walk around for 15 minutes, and it lowered my glucose immediately. Then I started to ask Patrick tips. Like, I wasn't, this is before I had Coach Ali and Merrick helping me. Patrick was the first one that was helping me get my stuff under control. He was giving me tips on food, and the cool thing about Patrick is he doesn't demonize food. Obviously, Patrick wants you to eat healthy and eat whole food. But if you eat things like rice, for instance, my wife and I used to eat rice twice a day. We have a little Japanese rice cooker. We take our rice very serious,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, Patrick would say after you eat, you should go on one of those 15-minute walks. And I noticed that would even help. So I was like, okay, Patrick's tight. Patrick's legit. And he was so willing to help people. If you follow him on Instagram, Patrick really cares about people and he wants to help people. And then Patrick helped me with some stuff with my shoulder. Oh, he spent so many hours helping me, his personal time, just doing stuff for me he didn't have to do. He's a really good guy. Then I ended up finding out that his Merrick doctor is my Merrick doctor, Dr. Adam Hotchkiss. So that, oh, we're homies now. We're homies now for real. And man, I could tell Patrick anything. I could tell Patrick about my TRT dose. I told him about my macros. I tell him about my workouts. I tell him things about my friends and family. I have a best friend I've had for 25 years who's lost a bunch of weight with me. And because his A1C is 5.7, they won't treat him as a type 2 diabetic, even though his
Mhm.
glucose doesn't go below 119. Even if he
Mhm.
fasts for 24 hours, his glucose stays that high. So I tell him all the tricks you told me, and it's hospitals, traditional medicine, they're just not equipped for preventative medicine, and they just want to give you a pill and send you on your way. But unfortunately, it's like we don't know enough about diabetes right now that there's a lot of gray area, and they won't, you know, Ozempic has helped me a lot. Ozempic has helped me so much. I switched from Ozempic to Monjaro now because of insurance things, but it works about the same for me. It helps me control my appetite. So one thing I learned from Patrick is when you're eating and you're type 2 diabetic, you're not getting satiated. And correct me if I'm wrong, if you told me this a long time ago, you're insulin resistant, so your body's not properly absorbing things from the food you're eating. So you get these hunger spikes really bad. I was always thirsty and always hungry. I couldn't ever satisfy myself. I could just eat all the time. And if I didn't have an active job and I wasn't an active person, it probably would have jacked me even more. But just diet and exercise wasn't even enough because when I got to Merrick, I thought I was eating the same thing every day, more whole foods, but it was, I was switched to brown rice. Patrick had me switch to brown rice, which I like. and I'd eat protein and greens, but I wasn't working out properly. I didn't have a structured workout. I just went in and did what I wanted to do. And I wasn't counting my macros. So Merrick introduced me to Coach Ali, and Coach Ali, through her app, has a chronometer subscription, and she goes in there and sets the specs for me, the maximums and stuff. So all I have to do is track my food and make sure protein I can go over, but carbs and fat I can only go up to the limit. And I think something you told me too that was really helpful was to which I didn't understand at the time, but when I started doing it, it made sense. You told me to eat more protein, and I think one thing you said in one of your videos was to not have ground up meat, because chewing on it also helps you feel hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So I do a lot more whole chicken and whole beef and stuff like that. And I would eat all my protein first. So I took my maximum amount that Coach Ali wanted me to have, divided by 3, and I would eat all my protein first. So if I got full, I didn't have protein left over. And protein actually kept me full longer because, like you said, it takes longer for your body to break it down. So you feel satiated longer. I think I pretty much covered it all. That was a long rant.
Thank you. That's just phenomenal, especially with your journey of the family history of your father and grandfather going through their surgeries, having their health complications, to you yourself being your own advocate to talk with your insurance companies to figure out, hey, is there a better solution out there? And then when you decided to reach out to Merrick Health and myself to get more of that advice, it's good that you had that skepticism to say, okay, I don't know if this person really means what they say. And then you decide to try it out and it actually worked. That just shows your commitment to really testing out the process to see what works with you and following through with that. So I really commend you.
I just didn't know
for
anything about it. I didn't know anything about it because regular brick and mortar hospitals, they don't tell you this stuff.
Yeah.
They want to get you in and get you out in 30 minutes and charge your insurance for an hour time. They don't build a relationship with you. Whereas if you go to someone like you or Merrick, it's a personal thing. If you go to a regular Kaiser Permanente, is the hospital I went to, that's where I was born. My sister was born. My daughter was born. That's my dad likes that place. But we thought that was the best one there was. And then as I started getting older and I didn't have my parents to hold my hand and tell me everything's okay, and I take care of things on my own, I could see the truth and see that you really have to do a lot of research and you have to find people who actually want to help. And you put out this stuff on Instagram, you're not, you're just giving it to people, basic stuff just to help people because you actually care. So that I think attracted me to you a lot.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Hotchkiss told me the first time I met him, he said, we're going to reverse your type 2 diabetes. And that struck me hard. He didn't say, oh, it's possible. You could totally do it if you do. He just said, we're going to. And I believed him. So
that conviction.
He cares and you care. Yeah. But just when you care, you don't feel cold like you're just there trying to fill a quota, get people in and out of the door. Here's your Jardiance. Here's your Ozempic. And you have to ask them, how do you use the Ozempic? Oh, you pop the thing off and it's crazy. Yeah. DRT was a big thing that helped me a lot too. There's a lot of, again, diabetes. The cool thing about your tips is they're basic. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it anytime, anywhere. Sitting in the car, sitting at your desk, at work, at home, in your bed. If you're stuck in a bed, you have tricks for those people. And you're not giving anyone pills. And you're like, hey, do these things and monitor yourself. And if you see it went down a little bit and you want it down more, do it more. Next time, tweak your food a little bit. Have something, if you're going to have something sweet, you would teach have fruit with high fiber, have more protein and less carbs. Or if you're going to have carbs, I saw you're like experimenting with beans lately and stuff like that. Because beans have protein in it. And but you're fiber. Getting legit beans. The ones where you got to soak them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's solid. Once you learn how to do it, can't go back.
Yeah, you just got to soak them the night before. There's just a little preparation, but it's worth it. There's nothing like fresh beans that you made yourself.
Exactly. All right, Jeff. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I know our audience is wondering, and they heard you say, "Oh, Viking Zero reviews." What is like
Uh-huh.
Viking Zero reviews? If you wouldn't mind sharing.
So because well, actually I'm not diabetic anymore, like he said. My
You
A1C
reversed
was
it.
yeah, my A1C was 10 plus when I met Patrick. Patrick helped me, and I shared my blood work from Merrick with him since he was helping me. I wanted to share that with him, and he was my hype man the whole time. We got my A1C down to 5.9. But Patrick's, dude, whatever you're doing, keep going, don't stop. You got this. And then I think we got it down to 5.7. And then my recent one was 5.3. So I started a review channel. I don't have anything right here to show you, but I buy zero sugar drinks. I try proteins and health foods and things like that. And I try to review things for diabetics basically
Mhm.
because I still consider I still try to act like a type 2 diabetic because I don't want to,
That's how
hurt
you
my
keep it
health or anything.
reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not hard. I eat the worst thing to happen from all this is I don't like eating out anymore.
Hmm.
Nobody makes food the way I like it
Yeah. Hmm.
because it's been like 6 months or so that we've been working with each other. And I've really nailed down how I like my food, how much food I like. Now, if I go somewhere and get a steak or something, it's not the same as when I do it myself.
It's not a Jeff steak.
Yeah, it's not. It is. Yeah. So Viking Zero reviews, I do mostly energy drinks, mostly zero sugar things. So I also do, like I said, proteins and things like that. And I try to find the proteins that have the least amount of carbs or the highest amount of fiber. If they have a little bit of sugar in it, 5 grams or less than a gram, that's not a big deal. You'll learn that from Patrick. Thanksgiving, Patrick, Coach Ali, Dr. Hotchkiss told me, eat a regular meal. Don't do anything weird. Eat a regular meal. I posted a video actually shouting you out because I was the only one in my whole family that went out for a walk. I got 3 little pieces of pie so I could try a little of all of them. I had mashed potatoes. I had everything. And I went out for a walk, tested my blood sugar. And because I've been having it under control, my body didn't react weird to it. Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
consistency. And
Yep.
Christmas is going to be awesome for you too. And New
Yep.
Year's.
Yep. Some things are easy for me because I don't drink. I know a lot of people have that vice, and alcohol is a pretty tough one. I don't know about red wine and stuff. I know a little bit of that. It's probably not that bad, but I don't drink, so that helps me. But even my wife has seen the changes and stuff, and she does a lot of the stuff that you've taught me. So it's helping a lot. She's lost 40 pounds. I
What?
think I've
No
lost,
way. That's
yeah,
amazing.
I've lost 46 pounds.
Let's
Yeah, I'm down to,
go.
yeah, down to 236. Everybody keeps telling me, dude, what the heck? Like, because at work it's cold, so I wear my big fluffy sweater, and
Yeah.
people see me when I take my sweater off. They're like, "What the heck? What happened to you?" You can see my actual muscles now, my arm the way it's supposed to be shaped. I'm not just a big old fat blob, unhealthy person. Your skin gets better, everything. Your hair gets better, your attitude, your sleep. My relationship with my wife has gotten better. There's so many pluses. The only thing that's, some people don't understand when you have to change your life. People don't understand when you're eating different and you're late to things because you got to go to the gym, and people don't get it. But I think that was the only weird part of the whole thing. But now, 6 months later, people are used to it. They know. They see me lose 46 pounds, which is a lot.
Hmm.
And they're like, okay, this guy's serious. So they don't judge me anymore for eating different or working out, being late to things because I got to go to the gym. It's just expected now. So
Hmm.
I do sympathize with people, sympathize, whatever, with people who don't want to lose their friends and they don't want to go work out by themselves. But like Patrick always said, you have to be your own advocate. You are the one who has to do it, and it can be one day or it can be day one. Just
Hmm.
start with Patrick's little tips like I did. I just did little things: indirect sunlight and 15-minute walks. That's exactly how I started, and I saw a change, and I went freaking head first. I was like soaking it up. Hey Patrick, hey Patrick, hey Patrick, hey Patrick.
Oh yeah. And I was like, Jeff, what's up? Here's these tips. You got
Yeah,
this. I'm rooting for you, my man.
yeah. Patrick do videos and DM for me, and he'd be hyped up, and it was pretty cool. It's a cool feeling to have someone like Patrick in your corner.
Mm-hmm. Super glad that you enjoyed my positivity, man. That's
Oh
how I
yeah,
love
every
to coach
day.
people. You got this. I believe in you.
Yeah, I like your workout videos too. I can't wait to see more of those.
Oh, coming out. More of them are coming out soon. Don't you worry.
It's cool. People, you really have to see all of Patrick's stuff to see. He literally started off with the easiest stuff. Everybody can sit in front of a window in the morning where the sun comes in. Anybody can do that. He starts off
Hmm.
with the easiest things. Open the blinds in your room and get some sun. If you can walk for 15 minutes, it doesn't have to be a run. Go do it. And now here he's 6 months later. Now he's doing these 100 tip challenges, 30-day tip challenges, and now he's actually in the gym for a little bit more advanced people or people a little further along their journey.
Hmm.
So if you don't follow Patrick on Instagram, you're not doing yourself any favors. And I guarantee you know someone who's diabetic who could use the tips, and they're easy to learn. They're 30 seconds long. He says them really easily. So share it with your friends.
Appreciate the shout outs, my guy.
Yeah, no, appreciate you. You've helped me change my life a lot. So
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
appreciate you
I
a lot.
love seeing your changes. Seeing you from that time where you were struggling with figuring out, well, what do I do when my blood sugars are high after I eat this? Like, what can I do? And
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, take a deep breath. It's not the end of the
Yeah.
world. You know what to do. You're equipped with the tools. Trust the process. And then when the
Yep.
shoulder was coming up too, dude, I
Yeah.
remember when you were able to hit your push-ups again and break
Oh
past the
yeah.
10 barrier. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that made my day. Would you share more about that, of your experience
Yes.
with
And
that shoulder pain?
that's gotta be pretty exciting as a newer physical therapist to see, because I couldn't do one push up because my shoulder was hurting so bad. I couldn't take deodorant and put it on my left armpit because my shoulder hurt so bad. And Patrick went through a couple video examination over the phone screening. And then when he saw that some physical therapy stuff, when he saw that I got a little stronger at those, he made me do them longer. He made me do more reps. It wasn't hard. It wasn't a lot of weight. It's literally really easy stuff. The
Muscle
trick is
squeezes. Oh yeah.
yeah, literally did them 2 or 3 times a day. So I would do it when I wake up. If I had a reaction, so say I'm using the loofah in the shower and I reach back and I got too confident and I moved and hurt it. I could do it, the ones you showed, without giving out your whole, without giving out your whole practice. I could
Go
do the
for it.
ones you told
Yeah.
me in the shower.
Yeah.
Literally, I have some that I don't even need to do them anymore. I can bang out 26 push-ups without any shoulder pain. Like I gas
Hmm.
out before my shoulder hurts.
Yeah.
So pretty freaking exciting. This shoulder is not, I definitely jacked it up, but Patrick made all the muscles and everything around it. So the muscles are working now. It's not the joint trying to do things or the tendon. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sure Patrick could, but because I babied it for so long, just atrophied, and that made it worse. That didn't make it feel better. So Patrick got me progressively loading. And then I remember the one video I sent you, I did 5 push-ups and I was pumped. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, and that's the thing. It's the same thing with the diabetes stuff. I did what you said. I was consistent with it. I'm like, you know what? If it doesn't work, it's not going to be because I didn't try. I'm going to try to the max and see. And I did all the stretches you told me. People in the gym were looking at me funny. Some people came up and asked me, hey, what are you doing? I tell them I have a messed up shoulder. My friend Patrick's helping me fix it. And some people ask me to teach them. Some stuff you're doing in the gym, people are a little embarrassed to do it. I'm one of those people, but I cared. I just turned 40 December 17th. So now as I'm a little older, I'm caring a little less what people think and more worried about just taking care of myself. I would just do them in the gym and I'd find out people were like, hey, that's kind of cool. What are you doing? What does that do? Can you help me? One guy, oh, dude, my shoulder's messed up too. Can you show me how to do those? Yeah, copy me.
Dude, love to hear it. Those were isometrics, muscle squeezes to help
Okay.
activate those muscles, so it helps you through it. Because
I,
for
yeah,
my, yeah, and I'm glad
I,
that you're also helping other people out too. That's amazing.
my best friend I was telling you about of 25 plus years, he has really messed up knees. He's very strong and he lifts a lot, but he doesn't take care of his mobility. And I was showing him that trick you showed the other day, which is basically the same one you showed me for my shoulder, but it's for your legs.
Hmm.
where you sit down and you push your legs like
Yeah.
the same way you showed me with my arms. No,
Muscle
he said
squeezes. Yep. Isometric.
anybody now who's known me and I tell them, oh, hey, Patrick just did this video, maybe help with your knee. They stop and they watch. They take it very serious because they see the change it had on me.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, this isn't just your thing. This is Patrick. Okay, let me watch.
Dude, I appreciate it. They could
Being
always give me the
serious.
follow. I'm happy to help.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. I'm glad that you're able to not only be an own advocate for yourself, but you're inspiring so many other people to take responsibility to improve their own health too, to live a better life. And that's amazing to hear.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do by sharing, is because I know a lot of people are in the same boat I was in, and it's embarrassing to say things about your health and ask people for help, or try to find new information. There's so much information out there. You need someone like Patrick, Diabetes Management Group, and Breakthrough It. You need places like that who can actually test you and say, okay, do this 3 times a day for a week, and then send me a follow up. We'll see if it's helping you. And if it is, cool,
Mhm.
we'll keep going. We'll keep going. If not, we'll readjust. Not just a place that just gives you a painkiller. And they say ice it twice a day for 20 minutes.
Ah, fills my heart right here. Our
Yeah,
body is
like you
capable
legit.
of so much more.
This arm now, even when I do shoulder presses and stuff, this arm is stronger than my left.
Dude, do
And
the
my
other exercise for the left.
so what I
Yeah.
do now is I do my left side first.
Yeah,
So whatever count this one gets, then I do my right side.
gotcha.
So yeah, but when I would measure, my buddy and I were always in the competition, but I measured my biceps, and my left one is bigger than my
Mhm.
dominant arm because
Yeah.
I favored this arm so much for heavy lifting and stuff, because my
Mhm.
shoulder was jacked.
Yeah.
Legit, I've never taken any painkillers. I suffered with it for
4
maybe
years, you
four
told me.
years. Yeah,
Yeah.
4 years or
You
so. I
even
mean,
thought
it's
about surgery. I was like, no,
yeah,
no, we're not doing surgery.
yeah, because it was jacked. Yeah, and Patrick
Mhm.
told me, what to do, and I took it very serious, and I'm glad I did it. Never looked
Mhm.
back. Just Patrick teaches me a new trick, and I'm like, lock it in.
Oh yeah, add it in, save that, made a new core
Yep.
memory, and going through with
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. And before we continue with the rest of this show, I wanted to let y'all know, please share with other folks that you think it'd be beneficial for, and subscribe and follow to the Diabetes Management Group for awesome tips to manage your type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. And let's get back to the show.
All right, so Jeff, I know people are curious to know what has been the hardest lesson that you've learned since starting your journey to reverse your type 2 diabetes and improving your health overall. And what did you learn from that lesson?
Two things. One of them I said was, your people around you might make it a little difficult and uncomfortable. Not everybody is the same way. I have a very small friend group. It's mostly family that was a little weird about me not super support. Not that they weren't supportive of me losing weight, but they're like, "Oh, why you're too good to eat with us, or you don't want to have a drink with us? How come you don't drink?" So just some people don't understand, but you got to just stick to your guns. And the second one, which I think is the most important and applies to everyone, is I am not motivated, but I am dedicated. I am very consistent and I'm very dedicated. So I go right now, I'm sick and I'm over here at my friend's house helping. I go to the gym, I feel like crap, but I don't want to miss a workout. But it's not fun. I don't want to go. There's
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I love video games. I have a screaming desktop I built. I'm a hardcore gamer. I love playing games. I can do it all day till my back hurts. And I stop. I go to the gym. I eat my meals when I'm supposed to. Even though I'm sick, I still be getting my creatine, my supplements, force myself to eat my meals even though I don't feel good. I'm very consistent, but I'm not motivated. So don't think you need motivation. You don't need motivation. Just start. Start small
Mm-hmm.
and be consistent.
Ah,
It makes a big difference.
Especially the tips that you shared before of get out and get some sunlight first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
If it's as simple as
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Smell
I
the
used to
roses.
think, yeah, you know what's funny? Before I knew anything about this stuff, I used to think it was silly when I would see people at corporate offices walking around the building after lunch. I used to think that
Yeah.
was really weird. I'm like, that doesn't seem like a workout or anything. Those people knew what they were doing. That is more beneficial than anything they did the whole day. After lunch, they come back, they walked around the building slow with their friends and had fun, and they're getting the sun, and they're starting their digestion process, and they're lowering their blood glucose and stuff. Yeah, I was really late to the party, but luckily it's not too late, because here I am 40 and full on have a healthy person's A1C. I test my blood sugar all the time, and it's always on the money. Always, no matter what. If right when I eat, first thing in the morning, it's normal. It's really weird. And actually, funny thing too, I forgot to mention this. You probably know about this from other people, maybe even when you reversed your diabetes. But do you remember at first how crappy you felt when you changed your food and stuff?
Oh yeah,
When I
100%.
like when I cut sugar out and I cut down processed food and I started eating better, I actually felt really sick. For maybe a whole year. I felt sick because my body was used to dying. I was
Yeah.
literally used to having 399 blood sugar. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
lasted much longer like that, though. I would not have lasted much longer like that.
Yeah.
I would have had a stroke. I would have had some kind of stroke from atherosclerosis or something. It would have messed me up bad. So
And
it's
here
not
you
too
are
late.
optimizing your health.
Start now.
Never too late.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
There's like, I'm even working with some people who are older in their 80s, and
Yeah.
it's, hey, these same tips work for you regardless of your age.
Yeah.
That's just how our muscles work. That's how our body works. And
Yeah.
that's the things that I love to specialize in. Like, how does our muscles function? How do our joints function? How does our heart function? I'm just here
Yeah.
to share some things that anyone can do on a day-to-day basis. And then if they need some more support and help, then my DMs are open, ready to chat,
Yeah.
ready to talk with y'all when you're ready to take the leap.
Yeah. It's cool too. Some of your tips, which now that I've been in this getting my health on track and stuff like that, I didn't even know before some of the tricks that you say, which are just focused on helping people with their type 2 diabetes. And you give just the right amount of information not to overwhelm people, but they help with other stuff too. Your circadian rhythm, like I said, the digestion, they help with making your sleep better. A lot of your hormones, testosterone and human growth hormone, those things boost when you start doing those tips. But you say just enough to not overwhelm people. So that was something I really liked. Hey, focus on this one thing, try to make it part of your routine, adjust it to where it fits you comfortably, and then we'll either increase it or add something new, and we'll keep getting better. It was never
That's
like
how it
you
is.
told me, oh, you have to do this overnight. You don't say anything weird about foods, and yeah, hey, eat your food. But if you want to eat this food, you have to react this way. If you want to eat a little bit healthier food, then you got to react this way. There's a roadmap for everybody.
Yeah. Food is just food. And then your body's
Yep.
response to it, that's just information for us to figure out, okay, how can we adjust it to the ways that we want to go?
Yep. And what's cool too about getting healthy is it's actually easier to maintain than it is to get healthy. So once you get healthy, it's a lot easier to maintain it. Your life gets a little easier afterwards.
Yeah. In what ways has it been easier for you, would you say?
I have less joint pains. My attitude is better. One thing that was weird was I always felt like a victim, like people were picking on me, and I couldn't cope with normal situations. I'm not even talking about crazy stuff. I'm talking about normal things. If someone at work says something stupid and I couldn't handle it. And it'd be a full blown fight. And just all my hormones were off so bad. So now I'm more confident with myself. I'm more sure with myself. people are actually a lot nicer to me now. I don't know if that's partially my personality, because I don't feel like I'm under attack, because you're like reflect the environment around you. If you're in a bad mood, people around you are going to vibe off you. But
Mm-hmm.
now I'm always rested. I have a healthy appetite. I don't know. It's weird. You know what I mean? People see it and they see you're working hard. They know you can't just do it easily. You can't just take
Mm-hmm.
steroids and get skinny and buff. Like, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter what you do. You have to work hard to get
Mm-hmm.
that result. And
Mm-hmm.
people recognize that. And it's been helping me a lot, getting my health, in order. When my daughter gets to see, my baby used to sleep on me, on my big belly and chest when she was little. And now that she'll be 7, she still does the same thing. And now she says, Dad, your stomach's hard. It's not a pillow anymore. So she notices. She sees us eating good. She drinks water all the time. It's really showing your kids healthy habits as well. You're
Mm-hmm.
making it easier for them to grow up and be successful, because they're not having to break. My sister and brother and I were latchkey kids. So both my parents worked. We come home from school. There was mac and cheese, peanut butter jelly, instant noodles, and cereal in the house. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
things we knew how to make on our own. And that's what we'd eat. And we'd take a shower and be ready, and our parents would come home and say goodnight, and we'd only
Mm-hmm.
see them on the weekends. So it's cool to be able to show my daughter that if you work hard, you can affect change and stuff like that too. So lots of pros. I really can't think of anything bad from doing all
That
this.
that is amazing. Just mic drop right there. And
Yeah.
an interesting thing is the ways that we perceive of how people are. Like, for example, when you were saying, oh, it felt like people were judging me and
Yeah.
it just wasn't a comfortable situation. It's also
Yeah.
what's the mirror that someone is looking at, because perception is
Yeah.
everything. Because then when you
Yeah.
are in shape and you're doing great, then you're able to know, hey, everyone's being a lot more kinder to me. And I feel like it might be
Yeah.
due to you're also being kinder to yourself now. Your hormones are in
Yeah.
check. You have more of
Yep.
the self-love for yourself
Yeah.
that now you just are looking at that mirror and positivity is coming your way because you're showing more positivity towards yourself.
100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I respect myself more, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
more comfortable in my own skin. And Dave Lee at Silverback Summit said, one thing he said that stuck with me was, don't judge yourself based on how far you are from your goal. Judge yourself
Mm-hmm.
based on how far you've come. And I used to be really hard on myself. I'm like, oh, I'm still fat. I think I have a little body dysmorphia. Like, I see the scale. I know I've lost weight. But when
Mm-hmm.
I look down, I can still kind of in my eyes see myself overweight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Mm-hmm.
that's something I'm coming over with. But even with that being said, I know I've lost almost 50 pounds. And
Mm-hmm.
that's freaking crazy. I'm stronger and I'm healthier and I'm more happy with myself. I'm more
Yep.
proud of
Mm-hmm.
myself. I'm not ashamed of myself. I don't feel like I can't have an opinion because I don't even have my health in control. Like, how am I going to have some business decision in control or dictate something to a crew? Dude, you don't even go on 15-minute walks after you eat, and that will help you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So getting myself in order has 180'd every aspect that was negative, that I was depressed about, that I hated about myself. 180'd it positive. And
Mm.
it's just been picking up speed.
Yeah. And it's just beginning now. It's going to get a
Yeah.
lot better, a lot
Oh yeah.
faster. And that generational impact too of
Mm-hmm.
inspiring your wife and your kids to make positive, healthy habits. Oh my
Yep.
goodness. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, Jeff. So what would you say has been the most rewarding moment for you throughout your journey of prioritizing your health?
Probably when my A1C got down to 5.3
Let's
after only like six
go.
six months. I didn't think it
That
was
is,
gonna be like that. I
yeah.
honestly, because I didn't understand it, I just did what I was told. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really understand you could do that.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
thought something genetically was forcing you to be jacked up a little bit. Type 1 diabetes is totally different.
Yeah.
And I
Uh-huh.
thought it was something similar to that. Like, I was like, oh, I'm sure I can get down to healthy for a diabetic. No, I
Yeah.
legit smoked it. I'm down in a regular person area.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know you could do that. So when that happened, I was like, oh my God. I told everybody. I had to
Yeah.
explain what A1C was to a bunch of people. They didn't know what it was. And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
dang, seriously? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, my blood is better than a regular person. Like, I'm doing
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
That was a big motivator for me. More than
That
losing
makes,
weight.
ooh.
Yeah.
Wear that as your victory belt, my guy.
Yeah. People don't know sugar really messes up the interior lining of your arteries and veins and makes them hard. So
Hmm.
you want to get your blood sugar in the sugar in your blood low,
Hmm.
so your veins can work and pump. That's why my grandpa had to have a quadruple bypass, because he's having key lime pie a la mode every day for breakfast at Marie Callender's. That was his
Hmm.
routine. He went into that restaurant with my grandma. They knew what he wanted. They bring him a little key lime pie with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Full on type 2 diabetic. That's what he had for breakfast every day. When the big important veins and stuff around his heart stopped working, so he tried to take some out of his leg and bypass those, and it worked there. But his above the knee stuff doesn't work very well, especially when you're diabetic and you're stuck in a hospital bed. It's not good.
Yeah. And
But
you
I won't be a
decided
victim to that.
you wanted to be better than that. You
Yep.
decided that, hey, I'm responsible for my own story.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be a shame if I didn't learn from my grandpa's sacrifice and my dad's sacrifice? And
Hmm.
I'm glad I didn't have to go have bypass surgery, because I like eating.
Yeah.
I enjoy cooking. I enjoy eating.
Hmm.
You get gastric bypass, you can't, you're on a liquid diet pretty much.
So I just wanted to say too, for those who don't know, my grandfather, he passed away from type 2 diabetes, and seeing him being put on dialysis and just not being able to eat the foods that he loved anymore, that was just horrendous and terrifying. And I thought when I got
There you go.
diagnosed with prediabetes, that was going to be my future as well. But then I decided, hold on, wait. Well, if I apply the science that I learned from my degrees, being in physical therapy school, and then my nutrition coaching certification, I realized no, that doesn't have to be my future, because type 2 diabetes, that can be managed as long as I'm smart about timing when I do my exercises, timing what foods that I can eat and what I can balance it out with in order to achieve what I want to. And I think the most
Yeah.
horrific thing that reminded me the most was when my grandpa fell out of his bed and he wasn't able to pick himself back up because he was in so much
Yeah.
pain and he just had so
Yeah.
much weakness. That's when I
Yeah.
realized I don't want that future for myself. I want to be able to help others so that they can get out of that situation too, to know that it's
Yeah.
possible that we can be 90 years old. And if we do have a fall and we trip out of bed, then we could still pick ourselves back up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I definitely
Right.
don't want to go on a liquid diet. I like
Oh,
eating
yeah.
food. I like cooking. So, and
Hmm.
now that I'm healthy, I can have treats and stuff once in a while, and it doesn't do anything to me.
Yeah. Hmm. And
We go
then
out for a
even,
birthday, I can have a couple bites of the dessert, and everybody thinks I'm normal and I'm enjoying it. It doesn't hurt me. I don't feel all gross. When you're diabetic and you eat sweets, it makes you feel gross.
hmm,
You eat
yeah.
some sugar or candy or something and you feel really lethargic. You just want to go to sleep. No, I don't get that
Yeah.
anymore. So it's totally worth it.
Hmm. Yeah. Going on those walks, using those muscles to soak up those sugars, get
Yep.
it, those blood sugars where it's supposed to go. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yep. In your muscle bellies. Yep.
Hmm. Otherwise, it's just a traffic jam, and that's what causes that groggy feeling.
Yep. Well, having a bunch of excess body fat is what's causing a lot of for type 2 diabetics, the insulin sensitivity problems.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
eating a little better first, and if you can't work out, you might have to tweak your food more. If you can work out, then you can push your workouts harder and you can tweak your food less, because having more muscle is going to raise your metabolic rate, and it's going to have somewhere for all that sugar to go and get used.
Hmm. Exactly. And there's no such thing as being too bulky, everyone.
Oh yeah, no.
Even trying to get bulky, like,
Yeah.
man, I'm doing my best to try and get bulky, but that stuff is gonna take a long time.
It takes a long time, and girls too, they think they're going to get all buff and they're not.
Lift 1 pound and all of a sudden they just become a Hercules or something. I'm just like,
Yeah, they
no,
think they're going
our
to be
bodies do
big like
not
a
work
dude.
like that. No.
you don't. Nope. Yeah, you can lift really hard there's a lot of things you have to do to get big. You have
Mm-hmm.
to sleep. Recovery is one of the most important steps over everything. And then
Mm-hmm.
nutrition and then working out.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
you
100%.
have to, yeah, so if you're one of those people that goes out and works out and goes to the bar 2-3 times a night, you're probably not going to see gains that fast.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You got to rest.
I am speechless with how awesome the tips that you're sharing are to everyone who's listening to this, everyone who's watching this, everyone who's feeling your message. And I'm
These are
sure
your
some of them are
tips, bro.
wondering, yeah.
I'm just sharing what I learned from you. I'm just
uh,
showing you that it actually worked and what happens
yeah.
when you listen. I went from
Mm-hmm.
285 and now I'm 236. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't really say, A1C of 10 plus to 5.3 in 6 months.
Yeah.
Yes, I have been trying hard. I have not missed one day in the gym, no matter how I felt. I'm not motivated. I'm just dedicated. I want to
Yep.
see a change. Once you start forcing yourself to do it for so long, it just becomes second nature. It doesn't
Yep.
become a habit. It just becomes part of your routine. And you feel
Mm-hmm.
weird if you're not going to go do it. You
Yeah.
literally feel weird if you don't do your routine.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like it's weird
Everybody
if we
has a
don't wake up
routine.
in the morning.
Yeah, or some people, they wake up, they go start their coffee, they walk to the bathroom, they brush their teeth, they wash their face. They do the same thing every single day because it feels
Mm-hmm.
good to not have to. You just go on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard for me too. I'm not gonna lie, because Coach Allie kept switching my workouts, and she had me doing workouts that I was not good at. Oh, so right when I just started getting comfortable with these workouts and feel a little confident, she would switch it up. And now I'm doing these workouts where I'm 6'3", 263 pounds with little 10-pound dumbbells doing split lunges. And there's girls holding an 80 doing split lunges, split squats.
Yeah.
And I
Mm-hmm.
go, they're small. I'm like,
Yeah.
how are you doing that much weight? They just say this. I do this all the time. This is what I like to do. I do
Mm-hmm.
legs all the time.
Yeah.
And so it pumps me up. I'm like, cool, whatever. I'll do whatever my coach says, whatever Patrick says, whatever Dr. Hotchkiss says. I just do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just do what I'm told. And then if there's something weird, like tell Patrick, hey, man, I could do 5 push-ups now, but my shoulder still feels a little weird. He added a couple more extra muscle, what is it called? Muscle activation exercises.
So isometrics or muscle squeezes, they're the
Okay.
same thing. It depends on what people understand.
Okay, yeah. So he taught me some more. They're not stretches. I know that. They
Yeah.
literally do actually make your muscles hot and tired. So they do feel like an actual workout,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're working out a weak area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I remembered when I first started doing them and you had me do the ones where you push your hands together like this.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
because this one was the bad one, reaching across hurt, pushing up on this hand was hard to do.
Yeah.
But it actually felt good. So I would hold that one for a long time. And then when I pushed my wrist up against the wall, and you
Mm-hmm.
do the sideways one and then the forward one and then the back one. The
Yeah.
forward one was the most tender, so I focused on that one the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up liking those ones. So I'd
Yeah.
find, like you told me, find that trigger point and I'd focus on that. Maybe if I start doing those exercises on this arm too, the shoulder will be the same strength.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Because you
Maybe
would
I
be
should.
activating those muscles. Essentially, if we think about it, if the muscles either get fatigued out or if we don't wake them up appropriately, it's like our muscles are half asleep and we're trying to do the workouts. And that's why
Yeah.
we feels weak or sluggish or sometimes even painful. So by doing those isometrics or those muscle squeezes, that helps wake them up. That's an alarm clock to say, hey, I need you to wake up so that you could do your job to
Yeah.
move this weight and protect my joint. And that's
Yeah.
why it feels a lot better when you're able to move it around and do those.
Yeah. I need to start finding some stuff from you too on low back, because
Yeah.
now Coach Ali has me doing heavy squats. I can't do front squats where you put the bar across your chest in the front
Mm-hmm.
because my shoulder mobility is so low. Like when I put the bar here, my shoulders are
Mm-hmm.
down instead of up. I
Yeah.
can do it
Mm-hmm.
like this, but the bar will be in my neck. I'm actually, it might be because of the length of my arms too. I don't know, but
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my low back gets very tender when it gets a pump, and I want to find some Patrick tricks for low back isolation, muscle activation, not stretches, to make my low back. Do you know the McGill Big Three?
Yes, I heard about that.
I do
But if
that
you
one just
wouldn't
because.
mind explaining that to the audience, for those who don't know what the McGill Big Three is, feel free to explain it to
So
them.
apparently, I'm not Patrick, so I'm just a novice like everybody watching. But it's a set of exercises, low impact exercises, almost kind of looks like yoga to strengthen your core. So you do one on your back, and you can either have your feet flat down or have one leg up if your low back hurts. And you just lift your head a couple inches off the ground. And you 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, all the way to 10. And you do that 3 times. And then you do a side plank where you're on your elbow and your hips up off the ground. You can do it on your knees if you're not strong enough to do it on your feet. And then you have this other one where you're on all fours and you put your opposite hand and opposite foot out and count to 10. And then you bring your knee in and touch it with your hand. And then you stretch it back out while keeping your core tight. So that's something that's helped me make my back stronger. But I think I need something a little more hardcore, like Patrick level. Patrick knows how to get me. Patrick knows, like that one. I'm telling you guys, the ones he told me to help me with my shoulder, they hurt. They legit hurt at first. And Patrick's, don't push that hard. I'm like, nah, dude, I want to fix my shoulder. This is doing something. I'm gonna push it as hard as I can. They
Yeah,
hurt.
just enough where
Those
you
shoulder
feel it,
things
and
hurt.
then you can get stronger.
Yeah, they actually hurt really bad to start doing them, but I just trusted them, and I did them, and here I am now. I can put deodorant on my armpit now. I can scratch my back. It doesn't go 100% straight up. Left one goes really easy because this one's not injured, but it doesn't hurt anymore. I don't think about it. I go do normal things. I'm over here doing demolition, pulling nails out of the ceiling. I could do a whole room. Normally, people's shoulders get tired and stuff. I'm doing it no problem.
Yeah. What a unit.
Yeah, you helped me. So
you followed the tip. You did the work. That's what I'm just here to guide you to the right direction. You're the one who sprinted and ran all the way.
you got to listen. Just find someone you trust that's not full of BS. Try a couple of their tips. They're easy ones. And check yourself. It was the diabetes stuff at first. And I checked my blood sugar and it was working.
Oh, yeah.
I would wake up. My blood sugar would be 120, 132. When I first wake up, I'd go outside for a little walk in the sun, come back, and my blood sugar would be 90. Just 15 minutes.
Yeah. Crazy.
Just a little walk.
All right, Jeff, if you were to share one piece of advice to yourself during your hardest moment with your journey, or to someone else who's struggling with their health right now, what would that advice be?
I think it's the consistency, dedication. Just even if you feel sick, do a little something, because it also does something to you mentally when you know you've done it and you didn't give up on yourself. Little victories. A Navy SEAL was telling me a story about how he was hiking the Grand Canyon from rim to rim. So they start on one side, go down, across, up, over, down, across, up, and then out. 25 hours it took him. The guy's a Navy SEAL. And he's going with hikers. He's a Navy SEAL. I'm the toughest one out here. That's what his brain was telling him. And he noticed the guys in front of him were passing him. They were gapping him. And the guys behind him were starting to catch him. And he in that moment tried to find a way to have little victories in the moment to help him complete the task. So he had a headlamp on and it made a little 2-foot ring when he looked down at the ground. And he said, okay, my goal is to just get to the end of this light. Just 1 foot in front of the other. He didn't look back. He didn't look forward. He just focused on the one task. So whatever it is, if it's literally starting off 15-minute walk after you eat, that will make a big difference. And it's so easy. Or if you are not a mobile person, Patrick has a lot of other tips and tricks that you might think are silly, but if you try them, you'll see they actually have an effect.
Mm-hmm.
If you can move your feet, or if you can twist your body, or you can do arm windmills, or Patrick knows all the tricks. Legit, hit him up in the DMs. He knows. You tell him what's going on, be honest with him, and he will help you.
Yep.
I hate to say, I don't want to be picking on anybody or anything, but you don't need excuses. Just find something easy and start with it, and just try to make it your routine. And then you'll notice you'll start building from there automatically. It just becomes normal. It's not that it's fun, or it's just part of your regular life now.
Mm-hmm.
Eating at the
Wow.
same time every day, measuring my food. It was a pain in the butt measuring my food.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's normal for me. If I go out for someone's birthday and we eat steak, I don't have a scale. I feel weird. But measuring my food at home, which was a pain in the butt, that's normal for me now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just start. That's what I would say. Just start now. Don't wait for the New Year's. Don't wait for a job to change. Don't wait for, just start.
Oh, I'm getting so many chills right now, Jeff. Just start. That's going through my head right now. Repeat.
Yeah, just
And
start.
then if even if it's not 15 minutes, if someone is able to spend 1 minute, just one small minute to at least get up, get to the door and open the door, call that the win. That's
That's
the
a good
one
start.
foot forward. Yeah.
Open the door, take a deep breath, look out at the sunlight, close the door, and be like, cool, we're going to do it again in an hour. We'll do it again in 2 hours. We'll stand here for 2 minutes next time.
Yeah.
Totally worth. You'll notice it doesn't matter where you start. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's starting point is different. I had a shoulder injury that held me back in working out. Not everybody's going to have a shoulder injury. Some people might not have access to getting a little food scale, but you can get measuring cups from the Dollar Tree or something. Just start somewhere. Start somewhere, and I'm telling you, it becomes easier and easier to just keep adding and get better and better, and you'll feel good. You'll feel like a winner.
Oh yeah, it's like that small win. Call yourself a winner, and then show up the next
It's a
day.
win.
Prove yourself as a winner again. Just keep going.
But even we say small win, but mentally it could be a big win.
Yeah.
Just like me, like I said, I have no problem playing video games all day like a total degenerate. Stopping and eating my food, or going and doing chores really quick, do the dishes, going to the store, go run errands, stopping myself and doing what I'm supposed to do makes me feel so good. It makes you feel so good. Just doing, they're little victories compared to where we end up, but just starting is a big victory. Just starting is a big win. I'm proud of even the people who wait till New Year's to go to the gym. I'm proud of those people. I hope some of them stick with it.
Yeah. As long as they don't take our machines. No, I'm just kidding.
Just go to the gym at a good time. Don't go at the end of the day.
All right. Jeff, thank you so much for sharing that. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
I also want to highlight the fact that Jeff is here doing this interview with me while he's sick, and we battled through a lot of technical difficulties, and he's still here dropping some awesome tips, dropping his story so that he can inspire everyone to know if he's able to do it, y'all are able to do it too.
Yeah, I feel like I owe Patrick. Patrick's my homie for real.
Yeah.
So Patrick needs something, I got him. He took care of me didn't know me from anything. I'm not a famous Instagrammer. I have 430 followers right now. I'm not even a micro influencer. He didn't judge me, nothing. He just saw that I was a person, another human who needed help. You could tell he obviously really cares about people, and he was willing to help me. So anything I can do to help Patrick, I got it. No problem. If I got it, you got it.
Oh, yeah. All right. I love to ask this question for everyone who's on here, and I'm glad that you love me as a homie. Good guy. What is your zombie apocalypse survival plan?
Zombie apocalypse survival plan?
Oh, yeah. That's just for every single guest.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
I I have guns, so I've watched a fair amount of zombie movies, so I think I'd be good.
Sounds good.
I have guns. I'm more physically fit than I've ever been. I like whole food. Um, I grew up kind of country. My parents have horses and stuff. We lived on a ranch when I was younger. Yes, I would miss my video games and miss my energy drinks, but I think I would do just fine.
Dude,
It depends though. Is it the fast zombies or is it the slow zombies?
we'll go with fast.
Oh man, those
Bump
are the
up the
scary
ante.
ones. The Daisy ones.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, even Brad Pitt had a hard time with those. Did you see Daisy?
Oh yeah.
Where he injected himself with COVID or something so they wouldn't attack him?
Yeah, injected himself with an illness so that he
Yeah,
could be immune to him.
yeah. Man, those Daisy ones. I
Those
don't
the
know.
runner.
I know I would fight to the end. I would fight to the end, whatever it
Yeah.
was. I'm a fighter now, so
Oh yeah.
what would you do? What do you say?
For me, I would learn agriculture
Uh-huh.
so I can actually farm and grow my own foods. And then I'd focus on getting to a place where it's inaccessible for people to come. So that way I can track, oh, if the zombies are coming through here, I could already create traps that can kill those zombies
I
or
think
unalive those zombies.
I think people's skills would play a big role
Oh yeah.
in where they fit into society.
Yeah.
And I don't think you would have a choice. I think people would lose all their entitlements. So they would find out maybe people with money who got lucky or something might be the low ones on the totem pole when it comes time to, oh, you can't clean, you can't fix cars, you can't
hmm
shoot. No, you have all your medical stuff, so you can help people a lot.
Yeah.
I think that would make you very valuable.
Yeah. That's how I value people in general
Hmm.
for their competencies. Because someone can say, "Oh, I'm a college graduate," and for me, I'm just like, that doesn't mean anything. Do you know how
Yeah,
to change a tire? Do you know how
yeah,
to fix and adjust a light bulb?
yeah,
I want to know who has real skills. So in case
yeah,
if something does happen,
yeah,
how can you improve your current situation and
yeah,
survive out in the world? Because if a zombie apocalypse does happen, I know I'd rather be buddies with an electrician or
yeah,
buddies with a plumber or buddies with a motor vehicleist. And
yeah,
I'd be going with them because it's like
exactly.
they know the technical skills. I could provide the medical stuff, and
Yeah,
we're good buddies there.
yep. Horticulture would be a big one. You could just have the books and that would help you, but knowing it would be good because it might be hard to have shelter to take care of all this literature, to know what kind of
hmm
wild things you can eat. Yep,
Yeah,
definitely. I wish people would accept everybody for their strengths and weaknesses a little more.
I agree with that.
I notice that's something that I'm always saying at work. My boss wants to push me hard at something, and we're very different people. And I
hmm
try to explain to him the things where he might get frustrated with me, and I'll try to point out the positive spin. Hey, I'm really good at some things that are not your strong suit. So we should emphasize me doing things that you're not so good at and you helping me with things I'm not so good at. And then I can learn from you. I can develop. I wish people would accept people for their differences a lot more and not both on both sides. The people that don't accept the people and the people that want people to just do things their way. It's like everybody's different. That's cool. Let's amplify our strengths and cover each other's weaknesses, and we'll be a lot better off, especially in a zombie apocalypse. That's my
Exactly.
2 cents.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
not going to
let's just
expect my
focus on
7-year-old daughter to help me change a tire. She's not very strong, but
not
she can
yet.
keep a lookout. She can watch the animals. So there's
hmm
things that she could do. So why would
Yeah,
I set her up for failure? Let me do something that's in her wheelhouse and then make her valuable.
exactly. Figure out what their strengths are, hone in on that,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
make sure that they have enough skills to take care of themselves with the essentials.
Yep. Those business
hmm
people, they might be really good at rationing, and we go get supplies, and that might be the person who kills it on inventory and rationing and keep
hmm
track of who needs what and stuff like that. You can always find something someone's good at, even if they don't know. you could find
Oh, yeah.
something.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I love our perspectives on this and talking about this as well. It's such an honor having you on here, Jeff.
No,
And I'm
honor's
sure,
mine. Thank you.
yeah, I know everyone who's listening to this, watching this, hearing this, they really felt your message and they're wondering, how can we get in contact with Jeff? I'm very curious to see what he reviews on for those energy
Uh-huh.
drinks, those snacks and treats. So how can
Yeah.
people find you, Jeff?
So Viking Zero Reviews on Instagram and Viking Zero Reviews on YouTube, and also Viking
Mhm.
Zero Reviews at Gmail. If you want to email me, it's pretty easy.
Collab?
Yeah. You could see me if you go to Patrick's comments. I'm usually one of the top people commenting on one of his posts too.
Dude, you're my biggest fan on Instagram.
That is true. I am.
And I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man.
Alrighty. Thanks again for hopping on, Jeff. And for everyone who's tuned in on here, thank you so much for watching this episode, listening to this
Yeah, thank
episode,
you.
and really filling out that message here. And
Yeah.
we'll catch y'all in the next one.
Peace.
Yep. Peace out, berserkers.
Peace out, berserkers.